Hey, this is the day 2 video for the race to results for January 2022. Today, like I promised, I'm going to talk about food, and then tomorrow's video is going to be on intermittent fasting. And these two videos are going to go hand in hand. And then I'm going to lay out in writing a specific program with some modifications for different people for different circumstances. But ultimately, what we're going to talk about today is the best way for you to fast start weight loss. Obviously, we want weight loss, and your dietary changes to be a lifestyle, and weight loss to be slow and steady and permanent. So we're not dieting. We're changing bad habits into good habits. And so the very first thing that you need to do is make sure that you're getting adequate protein. Protein will always be the most important macronutrient you will ever put in your body. Your body is made up of amino acids, predominantly over 40 types of collagen, which are all amino acid groups. Amino acids make up protein. And the best way to get those necessary amino acids that make up every cell in your body is to eat adequate protein, predominantly animal protein. There are 9 amino acids that do not come in any plant on the face of the planet. So if you're not eating enough meat, you will not have the necessary building blocks to create lean muscle, to build new cells, to recover, or to lose weight. So protein is always king. And as a rule of thumb, whatever your goal weight is, your ideal weight, you should be eating 1 gram per pound. So let's say that your goal weight is 150 pounds. You should eat 150 grams of protein a day. That means if you divide that number by 6, which I need a calculator, I don't have one. But if you divide that number by 6, so 12, 20, carry the 3, 35. So 25, that would be 25 grams or 25 ounces of protein a day, right? That sounds like a lot. Considering your average portion in a restaurant is only 4 to 6 ounces, that's not nearly enough for anybody. At a minimum, you need 8/10 of a gram per pound of lean body mass, okay? So you're going to eat a lot more protein than you're used to eating, unless, of course, you've been a client of mine for a long time or you've taken any one of my classes, because we always start with the adequate amount of protein for your body. This is just a rule of thumb. So every single time you're hungry, I want you to eat protein. Fish, chicken, turkey, beef, venison, duck, veal, elk, pork, you name it. Protein is always the base of everything you're going to eat. With protein comes fat. This is the second most important macronutrient because fat is where all your vitamins and minerals come from, despite what you've been told about fruits and vegetables. Your vitamins and minerals come in predominantly in the fat attached to the protein that you're eating. And then additional fats like butter, real pastured lard from a real pig, real pastured tallow from beef, bacon fat. Those types of fats are going to be very nutrient dense. Eggs, which are a protein, for example, have good healthy fats, lots of choline, great for vision, for your liver. The right kind of cholesterol. Cholesterol is not something to be feared ever under any circumstances. As a matter of fact, there's not really such a thing as high cholesterol. That's a whole nother story. And if you're interested in talking about that, let me know. But I don't want you to fear fat. Fat is a friend. Now, we don't need a ton of fat. We don't need to eat copious amounts of fat. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make when they go low carb, is they add lots of fat. Fat is going to make you feel satiated. It's going to make you feel full. It's going to make you feel satisfied. And it's going to make you feel less hungry. It's going to curb those cravings. Whereas carbohydrates, on the other hand, are going to make you crave food, particularly foods that are not good for you. So we're going to eat predominantly low carb, real food. There'll be no bread, no pasta, no oatmeal, no quinoa, no corn, nothing made of corn, okay? So no grains, no legumes, no beans, no chickpeas, no, what's another popular one? Lentils, no peanuts, no soy. Those are legumes. Start every meal with an adequate portion of protein. That means whatever your protein amount is that you figured out, if you eat 2 meals a day, divide it in half. If you eat 3 meals a day, divide that in thirds. So let's say it's 24 or 25 grams of protein divided into 3. You need to have at least 8, a little over 8 ounces of protein at all 3 meals. So 1 egg is 1 ounce. Okay. So the only thing I want you to be conscientious of is, am I getting enough protein? And does that protein have some fat attached to it, or was it cooked in a healthy fat? That's it. Okay, that's your baseline. Then you can add nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables or nuts and seeds to that base in order to create a meal. So broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, kale, cucumbers, peppers, onions, sweet potato, squash, pumpkin, carrots. You can have green apples, berries, melons, citrus fruits, okay? So just keep it real, right? Real food, 2 or 3 times a day. When you eat like this, you won't want to snack because, again, nutrient density satisfies the body, adequate fat creates satiation, adequate protein tells the body that it's safe with you. For the first time ever, you're not going to give it something that's going to hurt your hormones. When you eat excessive amounts of carbohydrate, you create a hormone cycle that creates cortisol, your stress hormone, which tells you to gain weight. Insulin, your response to food hormone, which tells you to store fat. Ghrelin, your hangry hormone that tells you to eat more, whether you want to or not. And leptin is the hormone that tells your body there wasn't enough nutrition in that. Now I'm scared. And it goes back to cortisol, leptin, ghrelin, insulin, cycle, right? Those are the hormones of hunger. That's why dieting never works for anybody, because you create a hormone loop that tells your body, eat, store, stay, right? Eat more, store fat, keep it there because we might starve to death, and then eat more of the same shit that wasn't good for me in the first place, that had no nutrition, because it's all I know. So you've trained your body how to want the wrong things. By providing it with the right things, those cravings are going to go away. This is where the Slim Plus and the Lean come in too, because that's going to help you while you transition to not have cravings. Now, if you realize that you're not hungry enough to eat the food that you need, then it might be time to lay off of those, slow them down, 1 a day instead of 2 a day, or 1 every other day instead of 1 every day. But that's going to be a very personalized thing. And if you don't meet your recommendation for protein, don't beat yourself up, but just make sure that the bulk of what you're eating is actually protein. You're going to gain muscle, which is going to raise your metabolic rate. You're going to lose fat, which is going to change your body size and type and shape. And you're going to have more energy. It's going to last longer. So you will be naturally less hungry because you're getting more nutrition from your food. That's all okay. Optimally, the human body is designed to eat twice a day. So many of you have been told eat multiple small meals, 4 to 6 meals a day. That's absolutely the worst thing you can do if weight loss is what you want to do. Why? Because you're constantly spiking that insulin, teaching your body to be insulin resistant instead of insulin sensitive, and to not listen to the hormone cues that your biology was created with to keep you healthy. You're constantly telling your body, store fat, store fat, store fat, store fat, store fat. So all of these things we've been told throughout our lives, heart healthy whole grains, high carb, low fat, avoid red meat, eat multiple small meals a day, are all designed to keep you fat, sick, miserable, and coming back for more to buy more of these same products that poison you over and over and over again. It's part of the marketing cycle. It has nothing to do with keeping you healthy, optimal, lean, happy, because again, your physical health and your mental health go hand in hand. If you're eating the wrong things, guaranteed you'll suffer with anxiety, depression. So what you eat is foundational to your entire life in every way. So we're going to keep it really simple. 2 or 3 meals a day, depending on you and what you're comfortable with. Protein first. Make sure there's some fat, whatever fat you cook in, or whatever fat is attached to the protein, and some vegetables or fruits. Never, ever, ever have a vegetable or a fruit that you didn't add a fat or a protein to. In order to digest the fruits and the vegetables, you're going to have it with some type of protein or fat. So that could be, I'm going to have a green apple, but I'm going to put almond butter or sunflower seed butter or cashew butter on it. Not peanut butter. Remember, peanuts are a legume, not a nut, and they're inflammatory. Or it could be that I'm going to have some grapes, and with it I'm going to have some gluten-free, soy-free beef jerky, right? But again, you're going to get to the point where you don't really want to snack. So keep your meals simple. Meat plus fruit or vegetable or both plus fat equals a meal. Every single time you eat, whether it's a meal or a snack, you follow that same pattern. Okay? So real simple. If it comes in a box, a bag, a package, it's not food. Keep it to real foods. Shop the perimeter of your store. Go through the fruits and vegetables, around to eggs and dairy, to meats, and that's it. Leave the store. You do not need to go up or down any aisle for anything. Okay? Keep your shopping simple. If you have a local farmer's market, get your fruits and vegetables there. It's going to be cheaper. They're going to be local. They're going to be in season, and you're going to eat seasonally for your geographic location, which is the best way to eat any type of produce. If it's not in season where you live, it's not meant to be. Okay? So eat seasonally, eat locally. If you have local farms and they're growing pastured, grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised, go to your farms. If you go to eatwild.com and look up your state, it'll give you a list of all of the affiliated ranches, small ranches that are selling direct to the public. This is important because as food costs rise and our economy is affected by the current presidency, you need to have other sources besides a grocery store to find food. You need to develop relationships with growers in your area so that you have friendships, so that you know where your food is coming from and exactly what's in it. That's really important. So food is super important. Tomorrow we're going to talk about timing and why timing is so important and how those two things go hand in hand. So I hope that you guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.